I'm probably playing pimp, popping in iguanas with saltwater fish tanks, Oscars and piranhas. Fluffy landscape, green grass on the line. Living like a boss dime with koi fish in the pond. Ivory white linen, same shade as the swan. Let me bring this shit back. What we doing right here is bringing you the daily doses of game. My man Garfield, he doing it real big with Hustler State. You know how it goes down. We got my man Hustler State 1000 there in the building. Dayton Metcalf Streaking on standby. My man M. Wolfie pushing the buttons as usual. Stay paying attention. iPhone, Apple Mac Pro notebook, very far away from spots where we letting the I'm shining. I'm probably playing pimp, popping in iguanas with saltwater fish tanks, Oscars and piranhas. Yes, sir. Fluffy landscape, green grass on the line. Living like a boss dime with koi fish in the pond. Ivory white linen, same shade as a swan. Calling shots like God. Are you listening? Bad hoes are doing BCBG and Tiffany. All I smoke is Tiffany. Wait till they get it with me. Filet mignon butterfly, shrimp split fry, the Papado Gator chunk cocktail on the side. Now look at that plate, that's Hustler State. Come from hustling great. Don't be alarmed, you just entered the game bomb. That's when she leaned in like Field. I want to kiss you so official. Through a black fucking daily dose of the game. Hold on, baby. I'm shining, baby. 26 is on my ride, on my ride. I shine when we about to bring you the instructions to this fucking game. I'm shining, baby. 26 is on my ride. Garfield, represent your DJ. I'm fly like a Martian, peep the way I space walk. You can't kill it like me, nigga, just know that. Futuristic nigga, y'all just living in the throwback. It's the rhyme spitter, aka Mr. Kodak. Picture perfect moment every time I post for that. Red carpet walking, Gucci down to the rag. A bad chick with me, got a fetish for the Jacob bag. She fuck with me cause she love that country boy swag. A city nigga, she like the way my pants sag. Her eyes on me, my eyes is on her jag. She feeling like Usher cause she got it bad. Check, come and seal on my almond joy. She just don't know I'm trying to play her just like a Game Boy. Check the whip, she love the way the paint drip and the way the 26 is fit. Cause I'm shining, baby. 26 is on my ride, on my ride. I shine when I cross that line. I'm shining, baby. 26 is on my ride, on my ride. I shine when I cross that line.
It's Terrence Gangsta with you, aka OG Diggity. I'm hanging out with the big homie, Hankin TV. Make sure y'all subscribe, support the brother. We out here doing big things. It's all good, baby. Y'all see me free. We out here enjoying life. I want y'all to stop the violence, say no to drugs, let's put these guns down. I'm out, baby. Gotta go.
This is a certified hood classic.
I used to be in my feelings, then I turned up and got a spot. I can't say how much I made in that bitch, I just know it was a lot. I don't care no more if she love me for real, long as she love my knot. They say, Unc, you hitting them with too much drip. I know I got a mop. I put my flow in the microwave, I know I got to blow, now it's hot. I was way too far ahead of my time, I had to slow down and stop. Before I pull up to the honeycomb, I got to go round the block. Looking in blind spots for any nigga think he on the low trying to plot. Go ahead.
Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to Hankin TV, man. You feel what I'm saying? That's my boy. He put dope content over there.
What's up with it? It's JT. If I say I done it, I did it. I want to thank y'all tonight for tuning in to Hankin TV. I got a special guest for you. He's going to educate you about screenwriting. We're in a time now where everybody's doing a lot of content creating, short films, skits, movies. So we have an award-winning screenwriting coach tonight, and he's about to give y'all some games. So if you can you introduce yourself?
Yes, I am Coach John, aka John Alexandrer. He said award-winning screenwriting coach, hailing from right now, currently Virginia Beach, Virginia. But yes, I'm the screenwriting coach. So I am happy to be here, ready to answer any questions, rock and roll, have some fun, and enjoy ourselves on this amazing podcast. I love your intro, man. Just want to say that your intro is on. Love it.
Thanks. So where was you born and raised at?
Born and raised in Portsmouth, Virginia, as they're trying to call it, we call it P-Town. It's one of the roughest cities in, what they call it, one of the roughest cities in the state of Virginia. But born and raised there, man. Went to high school at a place called Churchland High School, graduated in 95 barely, and went on to Norfolk State University where I didn't graduate there, but just moved on. From there, went to UCLA, went all the way from Virginia to California, went to UCLA, creative writing. They had a program there that this producer wanted me to go into. It was totally interesting. I was like, wow. So I went there, and next thing you know, I started to develop screenplays from there. Next thing you know, I started writing for others, and now I have an academy.
So how did you start your academy?
Someone asked me one day, she said, Coach, can you help me learn how to write a screenplay? Because the screenplay that I wrote for this client got a lot of attention from this producer, and the producer wanted to pay her to write several other screenplays for her. So I started off doing that. Had to be like early 2019. And then I just started. I said, you know what? Because I get all my creative information out the bathroom most of the time, just to be transparent. So I started it, and matter of fact, I forgot. I didn't know what date it was, but a couple of days ago was the birthday of the Academy since July of 2019. I'm going to put July 25th, 2019 was when I had my first official client, and it's been 75 graduates later. That's where I'm at now.
Congratulations.
Thank
and come along with graduating, that means they don't graduate and say get a paid screenwriting job, right?
When you graduate, like I said, when I teach, I just don't teach how to write a screenplay. I teach you how to become a screenwriter. Okay. I teach you how to, of course, learn how to format, learn how to do what is called a pitch deck, because nowadays you need a pitch deck before they even see the screenplay.
Right.
The query letter, the one-sheet summary, how to write different genres. I get yourself out your own way. If you're so used to writing hood books or whatever, or urban fiction books, you can learn how to write a comedy. You can learn how to write a holiday comedy, a rom-com, which is romantic comedy. You can learn all that, because my goal is to make sure that if the producer don't like what you sent to him, he's going to hire you to write a screenplay, and I want you to be confident enough to say, yeah, I can write any genre. So my goal is to make sure that once you graduate, you tear over to the other side where you actually get paid and other things to write, to become a screenwriter. Not just writing your own screenplay, but become a screenwriter. That's what I do.
Right. So being so deep in the screenwriting game and also being an award-winning screenwriter, man, what's some projects that you have wrote that people can look for?
Right now, well, I will say, and I use this very loosely, I've ghostwritten Belly 2. Don't even go there. Don't go there. I've done a few projects on BET, TV One. Currently, right now, we got this big budget movie that's about to come out. 2 of them that's about to come out that we got big budget on, and I'm on IMDb for everybody. I'm gonna talk about. You got IMDb? Yes, I'm credited on IMDb. You can check it out, John Alexander. You may have to find me like number 78. I gotta find out what to change that. But those are the most recent 2 movies I got. I got my own show that's coming out called Real Dudes. That's gonna be on Max next year. And then I got other projects for other folks that's I'm helping out that's coming out that I'm working on. So when I tell people, I don't use like when how I coach and how I train my people. When I'm in the field, I give them that information. Like you hear some educators, they talk about what they done back in 1993. I was in high school in 93. I tell them what I'm doing now.
Right.
Show them what I'm doing now. That way, my students and people that want to come can always be like, they can relate that I'm doing stuff now. I'm not living off what I did back in 2002, which I also did a show called, it was before Empire. It was called Platinum. That only lasted one season. But that's my name of game is just matter of fact, just to help people, just to do a few things. So we're about to go to Morocco to shoot this action movie that it took me and my other co-writer, Miss Felicia Grill, she watching, my little sis. It took us 2.5 days to do it because we needed to finish it. Now it's about to be popping once the strike over with. So, yeah.
And that's a question I also want to ask you, man. I seen you had put up a post. You said the strike is affecting more people than just the writers. So, who else in the industry, man, is the strike affecting?
Man, it's affecting everybody. I mean, the writers less because you can still get paid as a screenwriter if you're not part of the Writers Guild. But for the SAG, they can't pretty much do nothing. And right now, all the people that's in makeup, all the coordinators, the A-line, the ADs, the line producers that's doing big budget movies are on strike because of the studios is on strike. So it's not affecting it's affecting completely everyone in the business because now they're fighting with AI and stuff like that. So it's affecting because I got a list here. Like if for instance, if they replace background actors with AI, guess who's going to be cut out? Hairdressers, makeup artists, wardrobe coordinators, catering, wardrobe rentals for holding spaces, additional crews. So it's just not affecting the actors or writers. It's affecting everybody else that's in the film industry. Right. So that's why this strike is so important that, it's going to be a minute, but it's important to have.
Right. And I'm glad you touched on that, saying how the AIs can affect background actresses and actors. Because one of the topics that's trending right now is how AI can affect also writers. So what's your thoughts on the AI when it comes to writing?
Here's the thing about the AI. It works out, and I tried it so many times to test it. If you're a screenwriter, the only thing that helps out is to finish. You don't have to write the actual screenplay. You just put it, type it in, blah, blah, blah. But here's the thing with the AI. It has its own robot. Like, I put in the AI one time, Tony is talking ghetto, or is talking hood, or is talking Ebonics and stuff like that. The AI, let me tell you, it's as if a white person is trying to talk black.
Right.
It doesn't work. You need a black AI. It doesn't work. it make it sound corny, but also make it sound racist. Like, really? It's like a white person is actually writing black dialogue. Like, for example, it won't say Maine. Like, if you from New Orleans and you say Maine, M-A-N-E, and I teach my people that, it still says man. Like, it's supposed to say Maine. So you still have to go in there, create your own dialogue, create the character arcs, all that stuff. And the most important part, you still have to transfer it over to a screenplay format because it's not format correctly once you switch it over to a screenplay software. So you still got to do work.
Right.
So the only thing is, if people don't know better, it's just writing it out, and you still got to do all the other stuff along with it. You just can't think about it. Say, I finished the screenplay. You can finish the screenplay, but you still got to correct the characters. You still got to correct the dialogue because you don't want them to sound like an ABC school special. And you still got to format it correctly to a screenplay format. So there's still a lot of work to do. That's the majority of it. It's still got a lot of work to do. So the AI, the only thing is good is if it's good for books, but for screenplay, the only thing it's good for is that you don't have to write all of it. You don't have to write it, but you still got to go in there and clean it up, though, no matter what. And to be honest with you, I tried to transfer a book over to the AI. It won't take some books. The words, they won't take it and say the words are too explicit. They'll take it. They'll tell you, no, we can't convert this book over. So if you got one of the books that got a lot of cuss and sex scenes in there, it won't work with AI.
Right.
It won't work.
So by you working with a lot of authors and working with like upcoming and new screenwriters, what's some of the most common mistakes you see that they make?
For authors, get yourself out your own damn way. Stop acting as. I tell authors this all the time, and I love when I transfer authors to screenwrite. Just graduate someone that was an author. Just get yourself out your own way. Remember, the book versus the screenplay. The book tells you the story. The screenplay shows you the story. If you cannot see it, it does not belong in the screenplay.
Right.
And stop being too long-winded. And stop being too redundant. And get rid of all those damn sex scenes. We already know Jamon Keisha could get down after the first episode, after the first sex scene.
Good.
We don't need to show Jamon getting, I use this all the time. We don't need to show Jamon getting shot, his arm dangling, his girl Keisha come in, look at his arm, and then he having sex with one arm. Nah, you don't need to do that. It takes away from the actual story. No, and too much detail. So that's the thing I tell them, get yourself out your own way. You're no longer an author. You are a screenwriter now. It's totally different. And then a lot of authors be like, when they graduate, I don't even want to do books no more. I just want to do screenplays because you can tell a story from beginning to the end in 90 pages instead of 355 pages. That's it.
Right. And then for some of the people, men out there that don't know and kind of curious, tell them like the basics of screenwriting, like when you're talking about the page count, because I believe it's a page a minute, right?
Correct. It's a page a minute. And I tell people mostly do between 90 to 100 pages. That's an hour and a half movie. That's pretty much it. Sometimes 80. You can do 120, an hour and 20-minute film. Make sure it's between 90 to 100 pages. With that, make sure that the screenplay is present tense, because everything in the screenplay happens in the now. I tell them all that. I tell them make sure that your characters have make sure you do before they get into the screenplays. I tell them to jump right into the log line, the synopsis, the 3-act structure, and the character development before they even start writing the first pages of the screenplay, because you will need that. Because you need that down the road. You will need that for the pitch deck. You will need that to send out the query letter to producers and all that stuff. So I tell them to do that first, so that way they have that ready to go when they're ready to submit out. And I tell them, do not, when you graduate, you do the Writers Guild of America registration, because we do not submit anything out until your screenplay is registered. And That's part of the graduation part.
And then for the people out there that don't know, tell them the difference between a synopsis and a log line.
The log line, pretty much, it gives, that's the first thing a producer will read is the log line. If you watch TV and you turn on the guide and you see the log line, the information of the movie, it's about 1 or 2 sentences long. If it's more than 2 sentences, then you need to chop it down. The log line is pretty much like, for example, like I'm gonna give you one off the top of my head. A straight-laced, church-going young man moonlights as a hardcore gangster rapper in order to save his father's church. That's a log line.
And then a synopsis?
Synopsis is like right in the back of a book. That's why I tell authors, you good with that. With a synopsis, it's just like writing from the back of a book. You're telling a story, a summary of a story or the plot. That's what it is. I tell people, make sure it's about 2 paragraphs long. That's all you need, because what I do, I put it all in a query letter in 1 page and we submit it out. So the log line is about 2 sentences long, and the synopsis should be about 2 paragraphs long. That's it. If it's longer than 2, you may put 3. If it's longer than 3, then you just giving them something else. But that's how the log line of synopsis is when it comes to a screenplay.
Okay, I want to ask you a question, man. I call it a discrepancy. I've heard before that a synopsis should be, I believe, 50 words or less.
It all depends. I say 2 paragraphs on a page. That's it. Just give them. You don't tell them you don't give away the story. You just tell them basically what's going to take place in the story, to give them basically the beginning, middle, and the end without giving them everything. So that's what the synopsis should be. It's a short, I say minimum 2 paragraphs of the synopsis, but everything's fit on one paper. 2 paragraphs. That's it.
Right.
And then that's it. Knock out the story just like reading off the back of a book. That's what I tell authors. It's like reading off the back of a book. You got that down pat. A lot of my students, the synopsis I have no problem with. It's the log line that catches them because the log line is a catchy. Some producers will skip over the synopsis because they love the log line. They thinking, okay, man, this is awesome. Like sometimes the log line can be ATL meets Dayton, Ohio, such and such. And then you come with a log line like, okay, the log line is more visual than the synopsis. It gives the people that's reading thinking, man, this story is going to be awesome with the log line. Man, you mean to tell me this is something like BMF meets Atlanta meets, Seinfeld? I'm like, huh? Man, awesome. You see, you got you laughing. Oh, see, you were just that's all the time I had. And then they get people, the producers or whoever investors thinking, man, how this story gonna be? And then they probably read the synopsis. Okay, but they first thinking is the log line. Like, wow, okay, got to see the pitch deck. Let's roll with it.
And explain to people what a tagline is.
Tagline is the same thing. We call it a log line. Tagline is still the same thing. I call it a log line. The tagline is the tag to get you. Like I said, it's pulled to get you. I haven't used tagline in a long time, but that's what the tagline is to get you and to get the people to hook you into actually reading more of the story.
Right. And then for some of the independent upcoming screenwriters out there, do you have any resources, advice from the if they're having trouble getting their screenplays seen?
Well, right now, because of the strike, the major studios and stuff like that, and we can't submit out anything because we will probably end up getting, blackball or whatever. But for the independent producers, this is the best time for them right now to get their stuff out there. Now, I'm going to tell you this much. I've seen it. I've talked to a few. There are investors that's millionaires, some billionaires that are not part of the studio that you can still submit over. You just got to know who you're submitting over to and be careful. So you're not running into the Writers Guild of America Union or the SAG. But this is the time that independent producers should be rocking and rolling right now, because you still, like as for a writer, you still can get paid as a screenwriter for hire because now you're working for independent producers. So, or anyone that's an author or your cousin across the street that think he got a screenplay in mind, you can write. So right now, independent producers, that's all you can submit for. And I say, and I've seen it, there's a lot of independent producers out there now that's still working. They have not skipped a beat, because the only things is that your film has not, if your film is not SAG or part of the WGA, you're good to go.
Right. And tell the people what explain the Writers Guild and SAG.
Writers Guild is pretty much for the writers. It's a union for the writers, with health benefits, insurance and all that stuff, and to make sure that you get paid. There's a pay scale that I show these people, that I show my students whenever we first get started. The pay scale of the writers for the Writers Guild, the WGA, your residual incomes and stuff like that. All that fluctuated with the Writers Guild. That's determined, especially your residual income, because if you do independent, most independent companies don't have that budget or the money to give you residual incomes. That's the downside to going independent, is that because they don't have to give you residual income. They may give you upfront money, and money if the movie becomes a percentage of it. That's the thing about being independent, is because you may not get the residual income because it may not be in the contract, and it may not be able to have the budget to do residual income unless you come up with your own contract and state, listen, I want to get such and such percentage off this. and they can be like, you know what, I ain't giving you jack, even though you got a contract. But if you with the writers deal, that's already in there. You definitely get residual income for the rest of your life, whatever, revenue sharing, whatever, if you wrote that movie. So that's the difference. That's why people are fighting with the Writers Guild, because they want more money, because now they fell into the old contract where, remember how TV shows had 22 episodes? Well,
Right.
now streaming services like say for Stars only 10 episodes now. And sometimes that they only have to pay you for the residual income coming from these TV shows is because they get locked in the streaming services then. So now that's what they fight for: more money, more revenue for the writers. Now as for the SAG, man, you can't not even be on a podcast if you're a SAG member, or you can't even, if I say, hey, Mr. Hank, you're a SAG member, I'm gonna pay you $5 to come to my house just to make a special appearance. You can't even do that. You can't even appear in no functions, no nothing. Like you just stuck. They got it bad, man. And I feel for them. They got it bad. I mean, they stopped their money. They got it bad. I did not know that the soap operas union is totally different from any other union, because they don't have to stop working. The actors or the writers do not have to stop working. They're different from the rest of the industry, the SAG and the WGA. So the actors, they got it bad. I think you can't even go to those functions. You can't even do a special appearance. Like you said, well, hey, I can't walk into your house because if I get caught and you pay me $5 or whatever, I can't do no special appearance because I'm part of the SAG. And that's the thing that they're fighting for too. And that's a strike. So it's crazy.
So why can't they make any appearances?
That's part because they SAG. That's what the SAG. Here you go. During the strike, SAG members cannot do the following: tours, personal appearance, interviews, conventions, fan expos, festivals, for your consideration events, panels, premieres, screenings, award shows, junkets. I don't even know what that is. Podcast appearance, social media, or studio showcases as a SAG member.
Right. And then for the people out there, man, that's waiting on their favorite shows to come on, how long is they estimating the strike to last? Although I know it can end any day.
They talking about they want them to foreclose on their house, beg to come back before the writer's strike. They want the writers to be broke by the time they come back, because hopefully it ends next month or October. For me, I hope it ends sooner than that, because we need to hurry up and start this film. But yeah, hopefully soon. I don't think it's gonna drag out to the end of the year. I doubt that very seriously. But hopefully between August and October, hopefully it ends then. But the writer's strike, the writers been on strike since May 1st. So they've been on strike for a minute. So we'll see. It's probably gonna be longer than the one in 2007, which that's when I was first introduced and I first became a member of the Writers Guild. But that lasted for like 4 months. But it wasn't significant as it was back then. Back then, they were just fighting for residual for reality shows. Now they're talking about AIs, because now, as a SAG, when you sign these contracts or deals with studios, you gave them the right to use your name, your likeness, and stuff like that, where they don't have to pay you no more or give you money because they can use the AI to finish a movie. That's why it's important that the background actors stay background, because if they use AI for background actors, then they don't need the makeup artists, all that stuff. So they, like they say, they're trying to gut all the jobs that's out there, which is crazy. That's the name of the game right now. That's what they fighting.
Yeah, it definitely is. Then for people who's just now getting into screenwriting or thinking, what's some books you suggest they read?
There's a lot of them out there. I haven't read a book, or hey, just take my class and Because what I do, I send you a training video module on every section. And they can read books. I forgot which book, because I used to have books back in the day. I had a whole bunch of books.
I asked you because the Screenwriter's Bible is kind of popular.
That's popular. That's popular. That's good for those that wants to read. But honestly, if you want to learn it, you have to do hands-on. And I tell people, they say, well, I can go to YouTube. That's fine. You go to YouTube. But is YouTube going to check your homework? Is YouTube going to check your screenplay if you want to set it off? Because I'm going to tell you this much. I've seen it happen. Someone thought okay, I want to get thirsty. Be so thirsty that they decided to submit their screenplay to a producer. Producer looked at me and said, Coach, what the hell is this? I looked at the screenplay and it was all jacked up. You can have the greatest story in the world, but if your screenplay is jacked up, producers are not going to read past 2 pages. I've seen it. I'm like, why do you just, what? Yes, it's a cutthroat. Like, they will chew you and spit you out. Like, they will tell you, hey, you need to go back into training, or you need to do this. You need to go back because we're not reading this. And I'm like that too now, because I'm reading. That's why people say, listen, can you read my story? If I can't read it, and if it's all over the place, I can't read it. I can't not read it. If it's all over the place, people don't understand. You just can't treat a screenplay like a book. It's technical. That's why I tell people screenwriting is not for the weak at heart. I can be transparent. There's a few of my students that has not graduated. They just stopped because you can't not just, okay, here's a screenplay, boom, that's it. No, you got homework to do. You get homework. You have homework. I'm not putting you out there and embarrass my class and you got a jacked up screenplay. No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You just can't just throw it now, because now you need a pitch deck. Nobody knows what a pitch deck is. You need a pitch deck now, which is a PowerPoint presentation of your screenplay. It brings your screenplay to life visually before it gets greenlighted. Got to do that, because now they don't even read screenplays. They love the pitch deck and then submit over the screenplay. So it's a lot. It's a lot.
So a lot of people think you write a script. All you do is write a script and it's over with. Explain to people what a script breakdown is.
There's a lot of ways for the script breakdown. You got to break down the scenes. On Celtics, there's something called a scene report, where you have to break down. It gives you a breakdown of the scenes, so you'll know who's here, who need to be on set, who's on the scene, what's happening in the scene, so the people can get all the props, whatever needs to be on the scene, breakdowns. And if you're talking about strictly the actual script, you know the breakdowns, your character development, your first act, your second act, your third act of the script, which sometimes they can be loosely, how they be loosely the breakdown. A lot of stuff under the breakdown. More of the I had it on the tip of my tongue. Breakdowns of the screenplay, everything from the characters, from the scene headings, from the actions, from, like I said, the story plot, the character art, all that has to go in to your story. So that's why when I first start off, when we first come to class, you're gonna learn all the 3-act structure, the character development. And I give them a character development of their traits, all that stuff, where they come from. It's like a bio of their history, their traits, what they doing, their lifestyle, how old they are, what city they from, all that stuff for the character breakdown. And then, of course, the log line synopsis. But the 3-act structure is the one that gets them, because, like I said, breaks it down from the first act, which is the inciting incident. Then it comes up to the second act, which is the meat and potatoes, which all the drama, all the adversity, all the chaos, all that stuff that take place. If I'm gonna give you an example, of a 3-act structure. First act, Tony and Keisha first meet. They're having a great time. We understand their characters, blah, blah, blah. Second act, things start to happen. Keisha just find out that Jamal got a girlfriend and she's pregnant. And then Jamal leave the house. Someone hits him. He's in the hospital. And they don't know if he's going to make it. Act 3, which is the conclusion. Jamal going to make it. His girlfriend at the time decides to take care of him. He's going to make it. The baby is delivered. But he lives, and everybody lives happily ever after. Or you can have a sad ending, or you can have a cliffhanger. That's how you break down from Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3. You break down Act 1 is basically building the characters, let people know who they are. The second act is everything goes down. And the third act, which is goes up, then it goes up. First act, second act goes all the way up, and then the third act goes down. That's called a rescinding act, which basically almost the ending. What do you want, a sad, happy, or to be continued? That's how we break it down.
Right. And how long is your course?
It all depends on when you want to graduate, because now the course is now, which everyone's graduating from, and they love it. The course is now online. It's basically you graduate and you learn at your own pace. Well, what happened is I'll send you the training video modules. You'll read, you'll go over that. Then you have homework. I will personally do a video of your homework. So say, for instance, you do the first 10 pages of your screenplay. And you say, Coach, I'm done with my first 10 pages. I said, okay. I will do a video training module of your homework. I will go through your homework step by step, line by line, page by page, to make sure that you've done right, what you're missing, what you need work on. You know, Miss Mo Red Productions know that, what you need work on, and then I will email the video homework back to you, and that will continue to go on with other training video modules until you graduate. It's just like being one-on-one, but you're getting the video training module, personalized video training module, and I'm emailing that to you like I just did before we got on the air. I had to do one for a client. You would learn how to do your regular screenplay. I would tell you, so what screenplay you want to do for the first 10 pages? You do your own. I don't care if it's from a book, whatever. Then the second one is going to do a comedy. The third one, you're going to do a horror. And then a part of a TV pilot. And then that should be it. If you can master the formatting, you're good to go. So that's the basis of the training. Everything is at your own pace. And I see the video once you say your homework is done. You get the next training module once you complete your homework. That's pretty much how you graduate.
Okay, so it's pretty much at a person's own pace. So although we know things get better over time, should writers be in fear of AI?
No, it's like remember Rocky IV had that robot? I'm just going way back, show my age. They shouldn't fear no AI because, like I said, AI has been around for a long time. It's just the fact that they kind of made it more, they upgraded a little bit. But no, we shouldn't fear AI, because what was going to happen was, if the strike never took place, what was going to happen was that you use AI to write your screenplay. AI was about to become a partner with you. Like, you will have to register that screenplay under the AI along with you. So what I'm saying is that a robot is going to share credit over your own screenplay. Your thought process, you put it on that chat GPT and you created it in the robot, and you will share whatever with it. That's what they fighting pretty much. The robot will get WGA credit for your screenplay. Don't you know the robot don't even have a name? Don't even have a name. It's gonna get credit.
So how people gonna split the money? Bust up the money with the AI?
I don't know that part. We don't know that part. And when I found out that was going to happen eventually if they didn't go on strike, I was like, wow, that is crazy. Listen, I tell people, listen, if you do AI, I understand, but you still got work to do. You can finish a script, but majority of the time is fixing it up because there's no software that says AI. You can just take the screenplay and flip. No, you can still do work. You can still learn. Okay, where's my interior, exterior, the action line, the character, the parentheticals, all that stuff got to be lined up correctly. Even when you're done, yeah, like I said, the AI is just if you lazy and you just want to write, you just want to finish a screenplay, then that's it. Okay, you don't care about the character dialogues or whatever. And then because sometimes you can say, well, I got a drama, but it's gonna end up turn to a light-hearted drama show. And it's gonna sound the dialogue gonna sound corny. Like I said, I try to put like ebonics in it, trying to sound black, those and trying to sound ghetto. That thing was like crazy. So I wouldn't worry about AI.
And we spoke earlier, and you were saying about how important the pitch is. Explain to people what the pitch is.
The pitch is like I do it. You do the career letter, and you submit the career letter to agent to actors, directors. Because I got a course for that. I have a whole training course. You learn all that in the training course as well. How to submit your screenplay over. You do a career letter. You don't do unsolicited material where you just submit the screenplay. Now you submit the career letter first. If they love the career letter, which has the log line and the synopsis, they're gonna probably ask for the pitch deck first. Let's see the deck. If they ask for the deck is pretty much, again, for those that didn't hear me the first time, is a PowerPoint presentation of your screenplay. It brings your screenplay to life visually, like character wish lists, like all the stuff. It brings it to life. You know, instead of just reading, it brings it to life. Because previously we used to do what is called a treatment or proposal. Now we still do TV Bibles, which is pretty much a written, but now people just want to see pitch decks. No matter what, now the pitch deck is visual. They want to see, producers now want to see everything is visual. But when we first started off, you start with a career letter. You do not do unsolicited materials by submitting the screenplay over and say, hey, take a look at it. No, I don't do that. We do the career letter first, but they're not gonna read it because it's gonna go down from probably to the junior executive or someone in the mail room that's gonna read it, and then whatever. You do the career letter first, they do the pitch deck. They'll read a pitch deck because it's like 8, 9, 10, 20 pages. Slides, and it's visual. So that's the new thing they're doing there. And the pitch deck really, it's been around for a while, but it really didn't become popular until COVID. Because remember, they shut down everything and you couldn't do meetings one-on-one.
Right.
So they did the pitch deck, whether it was on Zoom or they told me to email me the pitch deck and we'll send it to you. So now the pitch deck has become the thing now to submit when it comes to trying to have someone look at your screenplay, or also trying to get funded by a distributor. You need a pitch deck. You can't not just throw a screenplay to someone and say, hey, here you go. No, you need the package. You need the complete package. No one's not going to take you seriously if you don't. They're going to ask, okay, where's the pitch deck? Where's the one-sheet summary at? The one-sheet summary, just a one-sheet summary of your screenplay. Like the log line synopsis and this 3-act structure and all on one page. That's the one-sheet summary. They're going to ask you for the pitch deck or the one-sheet summary. And I train all that and make sure you have all those ready to go, so that way you don't have to waste no time in saying, I'm going to have work for you in 2 weeks. No, have that stuff ready to go. Have your samples ready to go. In case they don't like the drama, do you have a comedy? Sure, I got a comedy. Here you go, boom. That's why I train. I just don't train just write one screenplay. Train how to be a screenwriter. So that pitch deck is good for distributors because so that they know that, okay, what they're looking at, because some of these producers don't know what a screenplay looks like anyway. You know, but they can read a pitch deck. There's producers that do not know that don't know what a screenplay looks like, and it's gonna look foreign to them. That's why you do the pitch deck. They can look at a pitch deck and visualize how that story should be, how their story gonna be. It's visual.
Right. How did you land Belly 2?
It was called something else too, and it wasn't even called Belly when I did it. It was something else because they didn't have the rights to the name at that time. I was just basically going out there submitting my stuff as a screenwriter for hire, and I got a hold of one of the guys out there, and he said, "Hey man, I need you to do a screenplay." It wasn't even Belly 2 at first, but he wrote it different. Then once he got to it, and they said, I said, "Wait a minute." He said, "Yeah, we changed the name." Because then at first he was gonna sell it as a different name to it, but then when the producer found out, said, "Man, we're making it to Belly 2." That's what happened.
Right. And then earlier we had brought up Mo Red Productions, which you're gonna be part of their seminar September the 16th in Atlanta. So how did you become a part of that?
It's fun. It's awesome, man. We did our first event back in April in Indianapolis. It was fun. It was great. Coming to Atlanta on September the 16th. Looking forward just to give people an opportunity to give them a chance to know what screenwriting is all about face to face, in person. So I love talking to in front of a lot of people. That's the thing. I love talking to people. It's good to talk on Zoom, whatever, but to talk in front of people, they can answer the questions right then and there. If they want to smell my breath, they can smell my breath, whatever, all in front, just smell me, whatever. That's the part. Get to shake hands, get to sign things, get to take pictures after the fact. That's the most important part of it. But also seeing their faces, having them look up to me and looking up, watching me walk back and forth across the stage. That's the most fun part of it. So I'm looking forward in Atlanta on September the 16th, and we're gonna do it big.
Right. And if anybody want to get in contact with you or take your course, how can they get in contact with you?
If you want to take the course, first you can go to the website at www.coachjohnscreenwritingacademy.org, O-R-G, or they can email me at coachjohnscreenwritingacademy@gmail.com, or I'm on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, which I barely use. I mean, TikTok is pretty. Anyway, I'm on Threads now. But really, if they want to get in really contact with me, because one thing I always say, call me, because you're going to have to need me one-on-one to answer questions about your screenplay. So 757 area code 805-4030. Once again, you can text or call 757-805-4030. That's the phone number.
Okay, and then I know they're on strike right now. So aside from your course, what you got coming up?
Man, the strike, I got some other independent films that I'm working on that they have assigned me to become a script supervisor as, which means that I'm going to be the consultant, which means I'm going to be the asshole on the set. So there's a lot of independent films that I'm going to be a part of right now that I'm working on. I'm working on a few reality shows right now. One by the latest name is Paulette Livingston. The reality show is called Virginia Housewives, Married to the City. I'm working on that. We're working on another project coming up shortly called You Look Like Me. Working on some other projects coming on Dallas, Texas, Houston, Texas. Another project in Atlanta that I'm going to be a script supervisor on. My boy is supposed to be going out there talking with the producer. And here's the thing about that one. You took my course. What I also do is a screenwriting resume. So the producer put a post. I put the post on Facebook. And the producer is looking for someone to write his screenplay. My boy sent the resume. And the dude said, you know what? That's it. I'm hiring you. And because I put the log lines in the resume, he said, man, the lounge, I like that. I'm going to end up taking a look at that. So now, full circle, he got paid for screenwriting services twice because he did another one. Now he has full autonomy on producing the movie that this producer saw on his log line, as now is giving him fully funded money to do whatever he wants to do with the movie. All because he replied back with a screenwriting resume. And now he's going to Atlanta this weekend to discuss all the stuff that needs to be taken care of. And he hired me as a script supervisor on set. So that is the beauty of being a screenwriter, is that the producer who hires you to write a screenplay, two things can happen. You will have enough money to finance your own movie, or the producer is going to say, hey, remember that screenplay you showed me when we first started to talk? Let's turn that into a movie. Let's get together. They can actually turn that to it. So you don't need no donations, no fish fry dinners, no Kickstarters, no GoFundMe. Only thing you need to do is just get hired as a screenwriter for hire. Have that person pay you $10,000, $15,000 to write the screenplay. Take that money if you want to, finance your own movie, or let the producer just say, hey, you did great work for me. Let's go ahead and greenlight your movie. Boom, that's it. That's the beauty. What I teach is that a lot of people don't want to make screenwriters for hire to be, because they want to sell and produce their own stuff. That's okay, but you can still do that and still write and get paid, write for others, and still have money, or let the producer greenlight your movie. Boom, you just knocked out two birds with one stone.
Right, and I think that's like a good thing and a part of what you're doing, because aside from teaching people how to do it, you're telling them how to get paid doing it.
Yes, absolutely. Teach definitely how to get paid. Because I remember there was a couple of screenwriters that came to me and said, Coach, he said, I'm on strike. What I could do? I said, well, how to write for other folks right now? He said, huh? Yeah. You got authors, you got people down the street that want to turn their story to a screenplay, get paid off for that. He said, a screenwriter for hire? I said, yeah. I ain't know that. You've been in business longer than I have, and you didn't know nothing about. I like, Lord Jesus. But that's how a lot of these screenwriters are. They so focused on trying to sell and produce their own screenplay. That's great and all, but there's also opportunity for you to get paid while you still trying to submit and sell yourself. And you never know, that producer that you end up with might greenlight the film that you're trying to submit. So instead of submitting 50 to 60 query letters, which I still do to my clients, well, after the strike over with, I will, you can just do your screenwriting resume, which I do, because I have connections now, partnership with some producers that looking for screenwriters, because I partner with a few producers, gonna put more, that I catwalk them from graduation to submitting their resume over, and hopefully they get hired. And that's why I tell them, make sure you have different genres ready to go as a sample, so they can take a look at your work and make sure that I'm hiring the right person. That's it.
That's definitely what's up, man. You gave us some game.
Appreciate you.
Encourage people to slide through, man. Check out your Facebook. Hit him up if you're interested in the course. I know people want to slide through to the I Write seminar September the 16th in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. And one more time, man, tell people how they can reach you.
Look, I'm on Facebook, Coach John. Email me at Coach John Screenwriting Academy at gmail.com. Or look, just call and text me, man. 757. It's the area code. 805-4030. Once again, that's 757-805-4030. And if you find Mr. Hank on Facebook, he just Facebook friend me, then I'm there too. So find me, inbox me. Yes, that's me. You see, when at the beginning you saw the Facebook stuff, my picture up there, that's me. That's me. Bro. I'm live in the flesh.
You already know, man. I appreciate you for coming through, man, and dropping the gems on us, man. I'm definitely gonna stay in contact.
Definitely do that. Can't wait to come back on one day.
Okay, I got you. I'm gonna hit you up.
All right.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You know it. That was Coach John Alexander, man. Slide through, man. Check him out. If you interested in learning how to write screenplays. I got a couple things I want to share with you. I'm gonna turn you on to the I Write seminar, which is becoming a thing. I just did one a few months back. They got another one coming up, which is gonna be September the 16th in Atlanta. Coach John Alexandrer gonna be there. We're gonna have T Hunt there. We also gonna have Melinda Santiago. So check that out. I got the other two they coming up this month. Also got some other stuff I'm gonna turn y'all on to. Where is that? Here you go. Slide through it. Check out Frontliners LLC. Get your merch. They got the peanut butter no jams merch. Check them out, man. I want to thank everybody for coming through tonight, man. We had a dope show. He definitely came through and dropped some gems. I think it was a good thing that he came up because, like I said earlier, man, we got a lot of people doing short films, skits, and it's always good to have some keys, man, to the industry, man, and meet people. It's all about networking. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always tell people to go back and watch my past videos because you never know who you can see. Like he said, I tried it. You can go to YouTube and learn some stuff, but there ain't nothing like that hands-on. You know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all check him out. Tap in with him. If you're in the Atlanta area, like I said, you're interested in writing, make sure you check out the I Write seminar coming up on September the 16th in Atlanta. If you need any information on that, you can hit up Stacy Johnson on Facebook, Mo Red Productions. I got a dope show coming up next week, so make sure y'all stay tuned in. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure y'all keep coming through, man. I'm out.